Hey guys, Andrew Shrout. I'm here on the sideboard. I'm sitting with John Cuvelier. Thanks for sitting down with me.
No problem. How you doing today?
Doing all right. And you have shown up to battle in Legacy today with a pretty spicy one.
Yeah, it's different.
You are playing Welder Reanimator. So tell me, just kind of broadly, what's going on with this deck?
So the deck does two different things. One, it does a normal traditional Grindstone Painter Servant combo where you just name a color, mill them out, they lose. Backup plan, or necessarily could be just the main idea, is you entomb or faithless looting a large monster into your graveyard, just bring it back and kill him with it.
Sure.
So it works twofold.
The traditional Reanimator decks have 8 Reanimator spells. They have 4 actual Reanimates and then 4 Exhumes. You have replaced those Exhumes with Goblin Welder.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the same idea, but instead of just having Exhume and Reanimate, you're using the Welder to, if they destroy your Painter Servants or your Grindstones, you just bring them right back into play, try to deck them that way. So there's so many different angles of attack, it's really hard to just stop one.
Mm-hmm. So this works out as an alternate to Exhume with the one caveat: all of your animation targets have to be artifacts.
Yes.
And so your animation targets are, you have 1 Inkwell Leviathan, 1 Platinum Empyrean, and 1 Sphinx of the Steel Wind. So talk to me a little about these Reanimator targets and what are they for and how have they been?
I decided that those 3 were the best options to choose from. Sphinx of the Steel Wind. A lot of decks can't, like for example, John has a very hard time dealing with a protection from green, protection from red or creature. So it's also evasive, gains life. A lot of decks just can't handle that. Platinum Empyrean, some decks also just simply can't kill an 8/8, and then on top of that, you don't lose life. So common thing is you can reanimate it, bring it back into play. You don't lose any life. It's awesome. And the last one, Inkwell Leviathan. Other decks have ways to target your big creatures you reanimate and they die. Well, that's terrible. So get a guy with Shroud, don't have that problem.
So I said that you have 3 Reanimator targets. You actually have more like 7. In addition to those 3, you have the 4 Painter Servants.
Yeah.
So talk to me a little about the flexibility that you get from playing playing a graveyard-based combo and a non-graveyard-based combo.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things where if you're playing Reanimator, obviously people are going to attack your graveyard, and that's how they plan on beating you. They're just going to slow you down, prevent you from taking your guy from the graveyard to play and then winning the game. Mm-hmm. In this way, by attacking from both the board and the graveyard, it's really hard to just disrupt both. They might be able to stop one, but not both. So it's very hard to just stop both of them. So let's go over.
Fair enough. Yeah, one of the really cool things I saw when I laid this deck out, you have 1 Nile Spellbomb in your main. And I was looking through it, I said, we don't have a way to search for this. What's going on? And then you just laughed and said, well, you can entomb for it.
Yeah, exactly. Anytime you turn 1 Welder, turn 2, maybe you're playing against Dredge and they're doing their thing, you can just, entomb, get in a Nile Spellbomb, sack an artifact, bring it back into play, get rid of the whole graveyard. You'll end up winning that game.
Okay. Yeah, you've got the 1 Spellbomb, as I mentioned, 3 Sensei's Divining Top. You got to keep your artifact count up when you have Welder. You said, 26 artifacts
26 total, technically, including 3 monsters. Realistically, you have 23.
Okay. And then you kind of back that up with the selection of kind of support in the form of 4 Thoughtseize, which is both disruption for your opponent and a way to get something in the graveyard, 4 Faithless Looting, and then 3 Red Elemental Blast.
Yes. The old Painter Servant named Blue can counter any spell with it or vindicate any permanent with it. So it's very flexible, and of course when you're playing against combo decks, you need a way to disrupt them, stop them from moving off before you can do the same. So it's very good to have.
Okay, and I would imagine if you're starting 3 Red Blasts and you're a proactive combo deck with Thoughtseize, you like your blue matchup quite a lot.
Yes, blue is definitely what you've been playing against. Delver decks are very, very good matchups. Anything with blue is generally in your favor. Things you'll struggle with are decks that just aren't blue. Dredge can be hard because if you don't get your Welder in play turn 1 or Entomb, stuff like that. Jund decks, they have a lot of ways to disrupt what's in play. They really can't stop your reanimation combo, but they can stop 1/2 of you at least. So it's something that anything with a lot of disruption can be hard.
Okay. I know you mentioned Dredge and Jund as decks that you don't want to run into. You're actually you started the tournament 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Those are your 2 losses, right?
Yes, 2 losses. I've played against all non-blue decks so far, so go figure. But it happens. It's not a big deal. This deck still has a lot of game against all those decks. All games went to game 3. They were all really close. Just they got the best of them. So.
Okay, sure. Yeah, this is an invitational, not an open. So the second loss, not exactly the deal breaker. It is in a regular.
Yeah, it's not over.
Open. So you're certainly still alive.
Yeah.
And I'll be rooting for you. Thanks for sitting down with me.
Anytime.
Stick around. We've got plenty more coverage coming of the Invitational here in Charlotte.